Okay, this is the Algebra Part 5 factoring worksheet, number 1. Because of the size of the numbers, and really when you factor, the first thing you want to look for is can you take out a common factor, which I can do. I can take a 4 out of each of these terms, which gives me a 10b squared minus b minus 21. And so if you're wondering where those numbers came from, I took each of the numbers 44 and 84 and I divided each of those by 4. 40 divided by 4 is 10, negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1, 84 divided by 4 is negative 21. That means my answer, when it's said and done, is going to have a 4 on the outside because that is one of the 3 factors that we'll have. And then also I need to look at how to break up the rest of this. What I've taught you guys in class is that this first number, 10, is going to break down into one of the ways that we could do it. We could either do 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. And those numbers are going to have to go in the first spot in each parentheses because when you multiply it out, when you distribute it, when you FOIL it, that's what happens. You multiply the first number in each parentheses together and it always ends up being that first term. I'm going to start with 2b and 5b. I'm using 2 and 5 instead of 1 and 10 because this middle number is kind of small, and so I think I might be able to get there faster by using 2 and 5, smaller numbers closer together, than if I use the 1 and 10. But if I try 2 and 5 and it doesn't work, I obviously need to try something else. I also know that the numbers at the end, the last 2 numbers in each parentheses, when you multiply it out, will always wind up being the last number in this expression. So negative 21 has to be broken up into maybe 3 and 7 or 1 and 21. And then it's just a matter of plugging in the numbers and seeing if they work. So I can say negative 3 and positive 7, and then I need to check to see if that works. And a lot of tutors and different teachers will show you ways to organize your thinking, ways to quickly check, but most of those are just doing the same thing that we're doing right now by plugging it in. I can check that by saying that when we multiply it all the way out, we also make sure that we multiply the outside numbers, like the 2b times the 7 would give me 14b, and the negative 3 times the 5 would give me negative 15b, and when I add those together I get negative 1b. So I got really lucky on this one because I got the exact thing I was supposed to get on the first try. And sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you'll have to try 4 options. You might even have to try 6 options, but it really is just a puzzle. You pick up a piece. I picked up the puzzle piece of negative 3, 7, and I plugged it in. It happened to work. If it didn't work, I would have switched the puzzle piece around. So I would have tried 7 and 3 instead of 3 and 7 to see what would happen there. If that didn't work, then I would try to put together different pieces.